Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and also welcome back to another episode of the Rag Essentials. And as you can see, we are ready to do some shadows and put some magic on those eyes. Okay, so as always with beauty products and makeup, there is a gazillion ton and a shitload of stuff on the market to put on your eyelids. But the one product that is, I guess, the all-time favorite of everybody is an eyeshadow, a dry, powdery eyeshadow. That's the basic thing that you are going to come over again and again. But if you find a good quality eyeshadow, then you should go for a set to begin with. And this set is perfect to begin with. You have your light colors, you have your dark colors, and you have your warm colors, and they are all neutral and kind of brown. The reason why I'm telling you this is if you start to apply your makeup and you start with bright colors, it's really hard to blend them out in the beginning. But warm colors, and especially neutral colors, they're the easiest thing to blend. So we are going to use these as a drag essential. So I'm starting the entire thing by putting a light shadow, actually the lightest one that is in the palette, in the middle of my eyelid. And then with an angled but a little bit flatter brush, I'm going to place the same light color under my fake brow bone, just to highlight that as much as possible and just make it pop. And all over this area where I glued my eyebrows down in one of my videos that you've seen before, I just use patting motions. I don't brush around like that. I just dab and pat the product on. So I'm using one of the medium shades of the Morphe palette, and I'm brushing it on to the outer corner of my eyelid, and with circular motions, basically always staying in the same place, I'm creating a kind of halo and perfectly blended out starting point for my eyeshadow. So whenever I use eyeshadows in general, I start with a very small amount of product and then blend this amount of product out until there's nothing left anymore, and then I go over it another time. This is a good technique to make blending easier. I'm using the Luxe Petite Crease, which is the same kind of brush like this one but just smaller. And I'm going in with the same colors that I just used for my outer corner, and I'm using them on the inner corner as well. So I'm turning my head up like this, looking into my small mirror, and I just place the shadow in here into the inner corner. I'm not touching the middle of my eyelid with this shadow color. Whoops, fallout. So what happens is that you get a three-dimensional eye. Can you see that? Here's a light, a shadow, and another shadow. And this is what we want. We want three-dimensionality all over the place. I'm using the first brush, the bigger one, to just blend the edges of this inner corner darkness out to perfection. And I'm also carefully blending the outer corners out. Now I go one step deeper with the colors, and I'm using a kind of deep brown here on the outer corner of my eye with the exact same circular motions, and using a lighter shade before just makes it so much easier to blend the shadows together. And again, I'm going in with the same color and the smaller brush into the inner corner. Alright, and now with my blending brush, I just try to get the color a little bit further outside of my normal eyeshadow area to give a little bit more of a cat eye. Okay, so now you can see what happened. We have two dark corners on every eye, inner and outer, and everything is kind of blended. And the middle of the eyelid is like really highlighted and glowy. So now you could basically leave it like that, put some eyeliner on, go to your under eyelid, whatever. But I want to show you another thing. I want to show you how to create a crease. So I'm using the blending brush and I'm just starting to softly connect the inner and outer corner of my eye. And now I'm going in with a very soft transition color. So now the two sides start to connect. And with a darker shadow and the small brush, I'm just going from this dark spot here to the other, and I'm blending it over to the other side. So now you see we have a new crease. The inner of my eyelid is like really popping out and glowing, and I will use my blending brush to blend it out a little bit and then intensify it even more. So with a small and angled eyeshadow brush, I just go into the darkest point of the crease and intensify it. And with the small crease brush, I blend it out. And to make sure that all this center part of my eyelid is really popping and highlighted, I go over the highlight again, just pressing it on this inner part, softly blending it. Hello. And now we're going to continue with the lower eyelid. Only with the rest of product that is still in the brush, in the small crease brush, I am creating the kind of contouring that I need for my lower eyelid. So I'm connecting the outer corner here with the lower eyelid, and I'm just blending around here. And I'm doing this on both sides. I'm also using the bigger blending brush to blend the lower eyelid down and connect it here. And now with the small and angled brush, I'm going in very close to my lash line. And then here, going to the upper eyelid, I just blend the dark start of the crease into my cat eye shape that I shaded before. You see what happens here? So I just carefully blend these together so that the entire eye is like one. There's not an upper eyelid or a lower eyelid. They should all come together as one eyeshadow in the end. Alright, and again, this would actually be good enough to go, but if you want to go and be a little extra, then use this little motherfucker or just any other black eyeshadow. But this is my current favorite. It's called Cake That by NYX Cosmetics, and it's actually meant to be an eyeliner, a powder eyeliner. But when I saw this, I immediately thought, okay, a powder eyeliner, this could be the blackest black of all the blacks. So I'm using a tiny little brush and I'm going into the black, and then I'm simply going into the crease and making it even blacker and darker than anything. Yes. Oh yes. Oh my god, yes. This blends so good and it's so black. Look how black that is. Okay, I'm going into the lower eyelid with that black too, but only like really careful and really on your outer corner. Look at the blackness of this. That's incredible. I'm using the lightest shade in the Morphe palette and I'm going into the inner corner of my eye with a smaller or medium-sized eyeshadow brush just to highlight my inner corner. You don't necessarily need to use any shimmers for this. I mean, shimmers are amazing, but today I'm really going for a very basic eyeshadow application. I mean, it's not really basic, but you know, I'm not starting to use any shimmers and stuff because where are we ending up with that, you know? And then I'm just blending this into the rest of the Schützenfest. Alright, and this is it. So far, so good. See you again in the next episode of Drag Essentials, where I want to show you everything about a great drag eyeline. So see you, bye!